Today, we explore the extraordinary life of Dr. José Rizal, a writer, doctor, and reformist whose ideas awakened Filipino nationalism and helped shape the nation's fight for freedom. Though he never led an army or carried a weapon, his courage and intellect inspired a revolution. This is the story of his life, his works, his sacrifices, and his legacy as the Philippine national hero. José Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonzo Rayolanda was born on June 19, 1861, in the town of Calamba, Laguna. He grew up in a close, well-educated, and principled family. His father, Francisco Mercado, was a hard-working farmer, while his mother, Teodora Alonzo, served as his first teacher and one of his greatest inspirations. Rizal was the seventh of 11 children. Their home encouraged learning, discipline, and love for the arts. Surrounded by siblings who excelled in literature, music, and academics, Rizal grew up curious, talented, and deeply observant. At an early age, Rizal displayed remarkable intelligence. By the age of 3, he already knew the alphabet, and soon after, he began reading simple books. His early education continued in Binyan, under the guidance of Maestro Justiniano Aquino Cruz, where Rizal developed a strong foundation in writing, language, and moral character. In 1877, he enrolled at the Ateneo Municipal de Manila. There, he consistently ranked at the top of his class and earned the highest honors. Afterward, he pursued medicine at the University of Santo Tomas. However, due to discrimination against Filipino students, Rizal decided to continue his studies abroad. In Spain, he studied at the Universidad Central de Madrid, where he completed his degree in medicine. He later trained in ophthalmology in Paris and Heidelberg, motivated by a desire to treat his mother's failing eyesight. His years in Europe broadened his understanding of politics, society, and human rights, shaping him into a passionate advocate for reform. While studying in Europe, Rizal began writing works that revealed the injustices and abuses committed under Spanish colonial rule. In 1887, he published his first novel, Noli Me Tangere. Through powerful characters like Crisostomo Ibarra, Elias, and Sisa, Rizal exposed corruption, discrimination, and the suffering of ordinary Filipinos. The novel opened the eyes of many and stirred the early flames of Filipino nationalism. In 1891, he released El Filibusterismo, a darker and more revolutionary sequel. While Noli highlighted hope and reform, El Fili warned of what could happen when oppression pushes people to their limits. The novel challenged Filipinos to seek justice and fight for their rights. Aside from his novels, Rizal wrote essays, letters, and articles criticizing abuse and advocating education and equality. He joined the propaganda movement, a group of Filipino writers and intellectuals in Spain working for peaceful reforms. Rizal also founded La Liga Filipina, a civic organization calling for unity, progress, and fair treatment under the law. His writings and activism made him a target of Spanish authorities, who viewed him as a threat to the colonial system. In 1892, shortly after returning to the Philippines, Rizal was arrested and exiled to Dapitan, a quiet town in Mindanao. But instead of being silenced, he used exile as an opportunity to serve others. He built a small school, practiced medicine, improved the community's water system, and conducted scientific research. His time in Dapitan showed his unwavering commitment to education, service, and the improvement of society. In 1896, the Philippine Revolution began. Even though Rizal did not support the use of violence, colonial authorities accused him of inspiring the rebellion. He was arrested, sent back to Manila, and imprisoned in Fort Santiago. During his imprisonment, Rizal reflected deeply on the fate of his country. In his final hours, he wrote Mi Ultimo Adios, a moving farewell poem expressing his love for the Philippines and his hope for its future. On December 30th, 1896, Jose Rizal was executed by firing squad in Bagumbayan, now known as Rizal Park. His death shook the nation and transformed him into a martyr. Rather than silencing his ideas, his execution strengthened the revolutionary movement. Dr. Jose Rizal's legacy continues to live on. His novels remain essential works in Philippine literature. His life and writings inspired the Philippine Revolution and eventually paved the way for the nation's independence. He is honored as the country's national hero, not for leading battles, but for inspiring change through intellect, truth, and moral courage. Rizal's story reminds us that true freedom begins with education, critical thinking, and bravery. His sacrifices continue to inspire Filipinos to stand for justice, uphold human rights, and love their country. This is the enduring legacy of Dr. Jose Rizal, hero, visionary, and symbol of the Filipino spirit.